A mind.
A mind.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste and a wonderful thing to invest in. Hello, my name is Bakari Sellers, and I am a 2005 graduate of Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. While there, I majored in African American Studies. For me, being at a historically black college and university was the only choice that I had. My parents said I could go to school anywhere in the country, but it had to be an HBCU. The reason being is because I appreciated the diversity of our people, the diversity of the diaspora. Even more importantly, I realized when I left Morehouse College that I can compete anywhere in this 21st century global economy.
Griselle Howard, graduate of Shaw University, the great-grandmother of historically black colleges, home to the student nonviolent movement. A historically black college provides abounding opportunities, it's relevant, and it's current more than ever. The schools that belong to the UNCF have a legacy and a future in preparing our children to lead, innovate, and make the world a better place.
Hello, my name is Felicia Walton Gray, and I'm a 1992 graduate of Johnson C. Smith. I graduated with a degree in mathematics and a minor in computer science. I saw firsthand by attending a UNCF HBCU school. As a result, I went through a transformation. I started Johnson C. Smith as a caterpillar and graduated as a beautiful, confident, educated butterfly.
Hello, my name is Cameron Mitchell. I'm a senior at Johnson C. Smith University, majoring in interdisciplinary studies with concentrations in public leadership and sustainability. The United Negro College Fund has been a tremendous aid to my ability to be here at Johnson C. Smith University. Actually, this is one of the first scholarships I received my freshman year when I attended here at Johnson C. Smith University. So without that aid, I would have been unable to attend the university, Johnson C. Smith University. I would not have been able to get my books, I would not have been able to get housing, I would have not been able to simply eat some days because of this. So that aid definitely helped me out tremendously and enabled me to be able to be on time, to be efficient, and also be a successful student.
Good evening. I'm Eric Watson, 1978 Livingstone College graduate and English major. As a Livingstone College Blue Bear, folks often ask, what is a Blue Bear? Tenacious, resilient, responsible, and most of all, common sense. Common sense enough to know that a UNCF school and an HBCU helped propel me to where I am today in life.
Sharice Belnavis, Spelman College, class of 1994. I had the wonderful experience of attending Spelman College starting in my sophomore year. I started at Chapel Hill my freshman year. And while Chapel Hill is a wonderful institution, there was nothing like the experience I had when I walked through the gates of Spelman College, surrounded by amazing, powerful black women.
I think the proof is in the proverbial pudding. Over 60% of all African American professionals graduated from historically black colleges and universities, and those numbers are still steadily rising. The fact is the UNCF, HBCUs throughout the country are the reason that I'm able to stand here today.
I'm a first-generation college graduate and one of 4 children. Had it not been for UNCF, it would have been very difficult and an extreme hardship on my family for my sisters and I to receive a degree from Johnson C. Smith University. So without UNCF and HBCUs, you would not have Felicia Walton Gray, Nanny Priscilla Willingham, one of the best teachers in Charlotte-Mecklenburg County, and a major contributor to Cabarrus County, Christine Walton Battle.
So my wife and I, who chairs the Charlotte Livingstone Alumni Chapter, both give back. Now what I would ask is that you do the same. There's not enough that we give today. We must continue to give so others can grow.
The power of a higher education goes without saying, and we also know that it's so expensive. And what UNCF does is it allows the opportunity for students who would not otherwise have a chance to attend college to get the same experiences that I know changed me for the rest of my life.
As you enjoy the Mayor's Mass Ball, I ask you to look deep within yourself, whether you attended a historically black college or not, for those who've come before us and those who are yet to come. Historically black colleges, members of UNCF, it is required that our schools continue the legacy of educating young people.
But I would also like to say thank you to all the donors and sponsors in the room tonight for helping me achieve my goal and my success, because without you, there would be no me.
UNCF.
The United Negro College Fund.
HBCU. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 6th Annual UNCF Charlotte Mayor's Mass Ball. Please welcome our Mistress of Ceremonies for the evening, HBCU Spelman alumna and member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the very beautiful and talented Charisse Bell-Navis.
Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening for the 6th Annual Charlotte UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball and the very first virtual ball. Since its inception, the Charlotte Mayor's Mass Ball has quickly become a staple event in the community that supporters look forward to attending. And this year, despite us not being able to gather because of the pandemic, our pride in UNCF's mission to support its member institutions and invest in the futures of American students is undaunted. In fact, it is stronger than ever. The unique challenges Black and Brown students face due to the twin pandemics of the coronavirus and racial injustice add to the urgency of giving to UNCF. Now, more than ever, UNCF needs your support. Black people have stood up, spoken out, and said enough is enough. In order to continue to combat systemic racism and the other ills that plague our society, we must continue to invest in the future of our students. The world will become defined by them. Tonight, we encourage you to socialize during our program on your preferred platforms using the hashtag CharlotteMMB. That's CharlotteMMB. Enjoy the program.
If you haven't already done so, please visit our silent auction in the events lobby. We have sports memorabilia, some great experiences, jewelry, and trips to places like Napa, the Kentucky Derby, Barcelona, and more.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2021 UNCF Virtual Charlotte Mayor's Mass Ball. It is our honor to serve as honorary co-chairs for the 6th annual event. I am Megan Allison. I'm Senior Vice President of Consulting at Genesco Sports Enterprises, and I attended an HBCU. That's right, Hampton University. I am also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and that's right, the Vice President of the United States is my soror. My husband and I are staunch supporters of the UNCF, and we believe in investing in the future of our next generation of leaders. We are here tonight because of the countless students across the state of North Carolina who need our support. Many of these students are first-generation college students. Many of them grew up in single-parent homes. Many just lack the support and encouragement from their families. So they need people like us and organizations like UNCF who believe that every student deserves an education.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Trevor Allison. I'm a family medicine physician with Novant Health. I am a proud graduate of not just one, but two HBCUs. Howard University, that's right, the alma mater of the current sitting Vice President of the United States, and Meharry Medical College. I'm also a proud member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. It is an honor to stand beside my best friend and partner for life, and others would say my better half, and serve as honorary chair for this evening.
So tonight we have the distinct pleasure of introducing our wonderful host. Now in her second term as Mayor of Charlotte, she has successfully led efforts of increasing the options and availability of affordable housing in our city. She's accelerating job growth, making Charlotte the #1 fastest growing tech town in the United States. And she's focused on workforce development to break down barriers to employment for our citizens. While 2020 did its thing, Mayor Lyles was busy doing her thing as well. She, along with Governor Roy Cooper, listened to the science early on and issued orders to protect our public health. She led the way in peaceful protest while also addressing police brutality and social unrest, providing a cool head and a calm resolve to keep this city safe. In addition to serving as Mayor of Charlotte, she is a mother, and she is a grandmother, and she is dedicated to this city.
As Charlotte continues to grow, Mayor Lyles continues to be a visionary and to serve as a fierce, fearless leader. Please welcome our fabulous host this evening, the Honorable Mayor Lyles.
Thank you, Megan and Dr. Allison. and thank you for all the support you give to UNCF. Greetings, Dr. Lomax, Tiffany Jones, event co-chairs, HBCU presidents, our wonderful sponsors. Thank you for sticking with us through the pandemic and this first ever virtual Charlotte Mayor's Mass Ball. And to everyone watching this evening, thank you. 2020 has been something else. This time last year, I would not have believed it if you had told me a deadly virus would hit America, infect 10 million people, and nearly 250,000 people would die. That the President of the United States would downplay the virus, and the National Guard would be needed in the streets for peaceful protesters. That we would all be wearing masks all the time, everywhere we go, and that we would lose civil rights icons, Reverend Dr. Joseph E. Lowery, Reverend Dr. C.T. Vivian, and the Honorable John Lewis. It has been a sad and challenging year, to say the least. We all know someone who has lost loved ones, and know those who are suffering financially, emotionally, mentally, and physically. We've all had to adapt and adjust to a new way of life, and yet here we are, facing the twin pandemics of coronavirus and racial injustice. This reality has been particularly tough on Black and brown students, so the need to give to UNCF is urgent. The Black community has been disproportionately impacted by COVID. Black Americans are still dying from COVID at significantly disproportionate rates, nearly 2 times higher than their population share, and have a hospitalization rate 5 times that of non-Hispanic white persons. While the racial wealth gap between Black and white families increased by 54% between 1992 and 2016, COVID is expected to accelerate the economic, educational, and social disparities that exist in Black communities. Parents are losing their jobs. We're losing family members to COVID, access to health care, evictions, and food insecurity. They each impact student pathways to college, the ability to complete their education, and HBCU fall enrollment, systemic racism, and police brutality. The deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery have all put a spotlight on the policies that keep Black people marginalized. This is all a lot to process and navigate for our young people. Stress and anxiety are high. Our students face a looming mental health crisis. In a March 2020 survey of UNCF scholarship recipients, more than 1,000 respondents, nearly 50%, reported the need for increased mental health and wellness support. Our students are at risk of falling behind or dropping out of school. And education is a lifeline. It is still the solution to lift our communities out of poverty and to create opportunities for successful careers and lives. Ensuring students can fund their education requires our immediate attention. And that is why we are here tonight, to raise money for our students' education, to ensure a solid foundation for the future, to provide a pathway to make sure the next Barack Obama or Kamala Harris meets their destiny, and to support the next generation of student civil rights and social justice movement leaders so that America can be safer, better, more secure, and more just for the generations that will follow them. Thank you for joining us this evening and for continuing to invest in the young people who will lead us in the future. Your dollars matter, and no amount is too small. So please, before the night is over, please make a donation to UNCF via the links provided via text, in the chat, and on the screen. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of the program.
to give a huge thank you to Mayor Lyles, the event hosts, and the co-chairs for their leadership and commitment to UNCF and the work they provided to ensure its success. As the Area Development Director of UNCF, Tiffany Jones works hard day after day, month after month, and year after year to cultivate new and legacy partners to make an investment in the lives and countless students across the state of North Carolina. Her dedication to making the Charlotte Mayor's Masked Ball and the Maya Angelou Women Who Lead Luncheon a success is unparalleled. She is a woman committed to funding the mission and making sure everyone has a ball while doing it. She attended not one, but 2 HBCUs, Hampton University and Norfolk State University. Please welcome to the stage, Tiffany Lynn Jones, my friend and sorority sister.
Thank you, Sharice, for your continued commitment to UNCF. I truly appreciate you. And thank you to everyone who is joining us this evening. We are grateful for the new partners and donors gained this year, who believe in our work and want to address the racial injustices and the challenges faced by those we serve. We also remain inspired that in the midst of incredibly trying times, we show up for each other. I want to acknowledge our incredibly generous marquee sponsor, Bank of America, who supported at the $50,000 level. Each year, Bank of America supports the work that we do, not just here in Charlotte, but nationally, and we appreciate their commitment to our students and our HBCUs. Tonight would not be possible without the leadership and the support of our amazing co-chairs and our honorary co-chairs. This year's 2021 event co-chairs are Malcolm and Tammy Coley and Michael and Leslie Marsicano. Without their support, we would not have exceeded our fundraising goal. So thank you. Our 2021 honorary co-chairs are Dr. Trevor Allison and Megan Allison, Richard and Essazeli Payne, and Dr. Struther and Kelly Rouse. Thank you for your continued support of UNCF and for believing as we do that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Congratulations to our 4 deserving honorees. Please enjoy the rest of the program and please make a donation tonight to help us continue the important and valuable work that we do across the state of North Carolina. Please welcome my friends, Dr. Kelly and Struther Rouse.
Good evening. I am Dr. Kelly Rouse, an OBGYN in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I too am a proud graduate of an HBCU, Xavier University of Louisiana, and my hometown of New Orleans. I am also a proud member of the illustrious Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
I'm Struther Rouse, a physician here in Charlotte, North Carolina, vitreoretinal surgeon, and I'm also a proud graduate of an HBCU, Clark Atlanta University. Tonight, it is my high esteem to stand beside my lovely wife and serve as honorary co-chairs for this year's Mayor's Masked Ball. First, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight as we celebrate this year's honorees and raising much-needed funds for UNCF. I'd like to give a warm welcome to our UNCF member school presidents who are joining us as well. Mr. Clarence D. Armbrister, President of Johnson C. Smith University, Dr. Paulette Dillard, President of Shaw University, Dr. Jimmy Jenkins, President of Livingstone College, Ms. Suzanne Walsh, President of Bennett College, and we want to take a moment to recognize the late Dr. Irving Presley McPhail, former president of St. Augustine's University, who passed away in October due to COVID-19.
We would also like to give a warm welcome to all of the elected officials who are joining us virtually tonight. It's been a challenging year, and we want you to know that we appreciate you and all that you do across the state of North Carolina and on Capitol Hill. We would also like to thank our friend Tiffany Jones and her team at UNCF for all they do to help our students and our HBCUs. UNCF is able to provide scholarships and emergency funding to students across North Carolina because of support from numerous corporate partners, as well as everyone joining us this evening. Tiffany recognized our presenting sponsors and marquee sponsors earlier in the program, Now, I would like to recognize our other very generous sponsors. At the Mayor's Royal Court sponsorship level, $25,000, EY and Truist. At the Mayor's Mass Court sponsorship level, $12,500, Foundation for the Carolinas. Please view our long list of $5,500 sponsors and friends of UNCF who are listed in the program and on the sponsor loop. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to everyone for spending the evening with us. Have a great night, and please stay safe.
Y'all ready to have a good time? We are
Le Bon Temps Roulé.
Thank you to Drs. Kelly and Strutha Rouse. We have a few more sponsors that we'd like to thank. At the $25,000 Mayor's Royal Court level, we have Honeywell. And at the $12,500 Mayor's Mass Court level, we have Ally Bank, Lowe's, Wells Fargo, and Barings. Please make sure you view the digital program for additional sponsors as well as our sponsor ads. Thank you to all of tonight's sponsors. It's because of you and everyone who joined us this evening that we have raised over $250,000. And it's not over yet. We are still accepting donations, so please consider making a donation via the text to give link, or the link in your email, or the link in the chat. Now, I'd like to introduce you to an amazing young woman who has a pretty impressive resume. Throughout her academic and professional career, her passions have centered on mitigating health disparities and bridging the gap between Black females entering STEM disciplines and careers. As an agent of change, she continues to promote STEM awareness and health equity to the next generation of female leaders. Please welcome to the stage UNCF scholar, Miss Maya Logan. She is a product of your investment and the reason we are here tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maya Logan, and I am honored to be a part of the virtual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball. I want to start with these sentiments. Do not allow adversities to defeat you, but allow them to empower you. These words are lessons from my mother, and it is to the power and lessons from her in which empowered me to move forward with a heart of service and a commitment to education. I am a native of Spartanburg, South Carolina, attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill as an honors college student, with a primary concentration in both quantitative biology and public policy, and a second concentration in chemistry. From being the only Black female to graduate from my high school STEM cohort and maintaining a STEM major throughout college, I found community, solace, and comfort amongst my Fund 2 Foundation UNCF STEM Scholar cohort. As a first-generation college student, I was skeptical of my ability to successfully perform in college. However, the mentorship and educational resources provided by UNCF has given me the confidence to excel. Following the torch of UNCF's mission, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste," I implemented a STEM program in South Carolina, which aims to cultivate a continuous passion for STEM at an early age for Black girls. And I plan to expand my STEM advocacy efforts in the state of North Carolina. As a junior at UNC Chapel Hill, I am a Speaker Pro Tempore of the Undergraduate Senate and Vice Chair of the Commission on Campus Equality and Student Equity. Throughout the tenure of my undergraduate career, I have been privileged to intern at numerous organizations, such as Robert F. Kennedy, Human Rights, and Viacom CBS, MTV, Social Impact. Upon my graduation, I will attend medical school, where I will continue my passion for Black women's health as an obstetrician and gynecologist. There are numerous people to thank for my success, starting with my mother, who continues to be my strongest advocate. Secondly, thank you, UNCF, for investing in me and securing funds to ensure my educational sustainability. There is no greater time than the present to invest into UNCF. Students will continue to experience the adverse effects of COVID-19, but your attendance today indicates the value of our nation's HBCUs and all Black students who will go forward to transform our cities, institutions, and world. I am honored to share my story at the 2021 virtual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball. Through UNCF, I've met many great people that have connected me to unique opportunities. For that, I am thankful. UNCF, thank you for making me feel no dream is unreachable and that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in.
Hello, I'm Charles Bowman, President for Bank of America in Charlotte. Since 2004, Bank of America has been an active supporter of UNCF, and since that time we've provided more than $2 million in support to the national organization and its local chapters. Today, one of our Charlotte market executives and Chief Data Officer, Lori Reedhead, serves on the National Board of Directors. We're especially delighted this evening to be the exclusive sponsor for the Student Testimonial Spotlight. It's through Bank of America's billion-dollar commitment to racial equality and economic advancement that we're proud to support students like Maya, who's making an incredible mark already at my alma mater, UNC. A college education can be a critical component of achieving long-term economic success, and we see UNCF as a conduit to connect students to that lifelong opportunity. I want to especially thank Tiffany Jones and her team for making tonight possible and for all they do all year long in the Charlotte community. I also want to thank the Coleys and the Marsicanos for agreeing to be our host, and most importantly, I'd like to thank all of you who've written checks, who've contributed, who give moral and financial support to this great cause. We hope that you have a delightful evening. We're proud to be one of your sponsors for tonight's festivities.
Okay, folks, just a reminder, don't forget to check out our silent auction in the event lobby.
You see, it's young people like Maya Logan that UNCF supports with the help of your investment. And there are many more deserving student artists, budding entrepreneurs, founders, doctors, and civic leaders who need our help and the help of UNCF. Good evening. I am Isabelle Payne, Assistant Vice President of Environmental Services and Operations at Atrium Health, and I am honored to be with you tonight and to support such a great cause, raising much needed funds to support the education of deserving students. I attended American University for undergrad and law school, and although I didn't graduate from an HBCU, I recognize the value and the history as I see the leaders that they continue to produce, such as Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm a huge supporter of UNCF and the wonderful work they are doing. I encourage you to make a donation tonight and help change the trajectory of a student's life.
I'm Richard Payne, CEO of Payne Corporation. My wife and I are delighted to serve as honorary co-chairs for this exciting event. I attended Seton Hall University for undergraduate school and George Washington University Law School. I have many family members and friends who attended HBCUs, and more importantly, I understand the value of getting a good education regardless of where you go to school. So, I fully support UNCF and the work they are doing across the country to make sure minority students have a chance for a quality education.
We have the honor of introducing this year's co-chairs, Malcolm and Tammy Coley, and Michael and Leslie Marsicano. It has been a pleasure joining you all this evening. Enjoy the rest of the program, and please don't forget to make a donation to benefit UNCF. Also, don't forget to upload your photos so we can see who's joining us tonight and all the beautiful gowns, tuxedos, and masks. Thank you.
Good evening. It is an honor to stand beside my wonderful and hardworking husband and to serve as co-chair of this premier fundraising event, the UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball. Currently supporting 37 member institutions with 5 right here in North Carolina, and students attending more than 1,100 colleges and universities across the United States, UNCF is producing a constellation of superstars who can change the world for the better. But they can't do it alone, which is why we are here tonight to help UNCF build better futures for students across the state of North Carolina. When our son was applying to colleges, we knew that he needed the strong support of an HBCU. We wanted him to choose a college experience that allowed him to grow, learn, and express himself. We also wanted him to be embraced and welcomed by a faculty that cares for each student individually, receiving encouragement from successful people who look like us. From my experience, my own personal experience at a predominantly white institution, I will never forget a guidance counselor telling me that the business school was beyond my reach, that I should change my major to industrial relations because accounting would be too hard. I have 2 other close friends who received the same talk about switching majors. When she said those words to me, I was motivated to work even harder for my success in accounting. Not every student would have been able to overcome this situation and come out fighting for the major they truly wanted to pursue. This is what makes HBCUs and UNCF so important to me. I want to make sure that students who look like me have a place where they can grow, learn, and express themselves in a positive, motivational environment with successful people who care. We hope that you've enjoyed the program thus far, but don't go anywhere. We have some special surprises tonight, and you don't want to miss it. So sit back and enjoy the rest of the event.
Good evening. I'm Malcolm Coley, and I'm honored to serve alongside my lovely wife and my dear friends, the Marsicanos, as the 2021 Mayor's Mass Ball co-chairs. Each year, we look forward to attending the UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball, and this year is no different. Although we can't gather in the ballroom as we have in the past, we are happy to be here and excited that you are joining us virtually. When you invest in the future of young men and women served by the UNCF, you make an investment towards a better world for us all. Better leadership, a more diverse and skilled workforce, and stronger communities. Education is a lifeline. It is still the solution that in all communities out of poverty and creates opportunities for successful careers and lives. It is reassuring to know that UNCF member institutions stand as pillars of strengthened communities throughout the nation. Thank you for your continued support of UNCF and for joining us this evening. We hope to see you in person next year at the 7th Annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball.
Good evening. I'm Leslie Marsicano, and I'm honored to serve as a co-chair for UNCF's Mayor's Masked Ball, along with the Coleys and my husband, Michael. 3 years ago, Michael received a UNCF Masked Ball award, and that night especially, I was reminded of the vital importance of UNCF. College attendance can make a life-changing difference for an individual student. Over the course of their careers, college graduates can expect to earn an average of $1 million more than those with only a high school diploma. But college attendance is expensive, and many students struggle to find the necessary resources. Often, even a small amount of money can make the difference for students. One study at Georgia State University revealed that many students drop out of college for the lack of fewer than $1,000. What a tragedy, not only for the students who drop out, but also for the rest of us who miss out on the leadership, research, innovation, or artistic contributions these students could make if only they were given the opportunity to develop to their full potential. For over 76 years, UNCF has helped more than 500,000 students attend college, But every day, 9 out of 10 students are turned away due to lack of funding. North Carolina member institutions such as Johnson C. Smith, Livingstone College, Bennett College, Shaw University, St. Augustine's Universities, and the students they serve depend on UNCF's support through events such as the Mayor's Masked Ball. So let's make sure that tonight we each go the extra mile and maybe even donate just a little more than we were planning so that we can help UNCF reach their goals of providing opportunity and changing lives. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Michael Marsicano. My wife Leslie and I are honored to join Tammy and Malcolm as co-chairs for our Mayor's Masked Ball. Although none of us quite anticipated masks taking on an entirely different meaning in these challenging times. With all the temporary pain associated with these masks comes the opportunity before us this evening to mitigate lifelong hardship with the gift of education. We appreciate such a generous introduction and extend thanks to all of you for joining us in support of this very important cause. The purpose of our fellowship is to uplift young people by investing in their future, and by doing so, our collective future with the leaders of tomorrow. Ensuring that worthy and deserving students can find their paths to college requires our immediate attention. And it will require the money we raise tonight from generosity at your hands. As the president of Foundation for the Carolinas, I understand the fundraising challenges facing UNCF, especially during a pandemic. I want to congratulate Tiffany and her team for their hard work and success in this particular year. UNCF envisions a nation where all Americans have equal access to a college education that prepares them for rich intellectual lives, competitive and fulfilling careers, engaged citizenship, and service to our nation. It's a belief I share from my own education story. My mother did not graduate from college, and my father was a public school teacher. When Dad promised me I could go to any college I wanted to attend, little did I know what that would mean. I fell in love with Duke University, and he worked 2 jobs to send me there, a sacrifice I did not understand until my first visit back from college, when Dad came home at about 9 p.m. from working construction after a full day in the classroom. He did so every day, including weekends, for 4 long years. No parent should have to make such a sacrifice. But the path Dad set me on was transformational. Not only did it instill values, give me a sense of independence, and ignite a passion for learning, I met my wife at Duke University and was married there in graduate school. My father's sacrifice gave me everything I hold dear today. That's why I am passionate in support of this cause and in the work of UNCF. We should all be willing to sacrifice a little to give a child everything. I hope that what I've said tonight resonates with you and that you realize the value of UNCF and the importance of giving back and supporting our students. Please make a generous donation this evening. Please continue to support UNCF. It has been a pleasure serving as co-chair this year, and I hope to see you in person at the 2022 ball without this kind of mask. Please enjoy the rest of the program.
Another huge thank you to this year's co-chairs, the Coleys and the Marsicanos. And just another friendly reminder, the silent auction is still open in the event lobby.
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Smile through your tears and sorrow. Smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you just keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll see that life is still worthwhile if you smile. With gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you just keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll see the sun come shining through. Still worthwhile if you just
Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to pay tribute to our 2021 Masked Award honorees. For those of you who are new to the event, Masked stands for Mankind Assisting Students Kindles Education Dreams. The Masked Award reflects the UNCF ideal and motto that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. It is bestowed upon those who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to help keep the doorway of opportunity wide open for the next generation of leaders. Our first honoree, Mr. Derek Weber, has over 20 years' experience in sports and marketing. Derek currently serves on the Men's Fellowship Board at the United Church of Christ, Romare Bearden Society member with the Mint Museum, former board member with the Dowd YMCA, and as a volunteer for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools Mentor Program. Weber is a native of Charlotte and a former athlete. He attended West Charlotte High School before attending Hampton University, where he majored in organization communications. Mr. Weber is passionate about his work and continues to give back to HBCUs by providing scholarships and various opportunities to faculty as well as students. Over the last 11 years, Weber Marketing and Consulting has provided over $3 million in scholarships and funding for HBCUs.
First thought when my name was called was why. It was a very humbling experience because you do things in life, but you don't do things in order to get accolades. And we give back to HBCUs, and it's a very instrumental part of our business. And we didn't do it because we wanted to get an award. We do it because it comes from the heart and it's something that needs to be done.
My first experience with UNCF is Lou Rawls, the telethon, and the many December nights that all the celebrities will come through on the telethon to help raise money for historical black colleges and universities. My HBCU experience started at Hampton University. It was a university that a lot of other family members attended, and so when I had an opportunity to attend Hampton, it was a great experience, an experience that I never trade in. Being a part of an HBCU institution, and then going to HBCU games growing up. My dad was an Aggie, which is a UNCF school. My mother attended Fayetteville State University. So it was no other choice in our household but to move forward and to progress with the higher learning opportunities to help grow your life and to grow the community. Well, my firm is a marketing firm, agency of record for historical black colleges and universities, the largest in the country. And primarily our job is to help build awareness about HBCUs, generate sponsorship and scholarship opportunities, and to make sure that the brand comes off in a very polished way to help propel the HBCUs in a direction that we need to continue to go. I think the role that UNCF has played and will continue to play is very vital for our HBCUs. They help build the awareness of the gap that's needed to support for our scholarships and creating these opportunities for young students to continue their higher learning and education. First, I would like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to serve. I would like to thank the UNCF for this year's honor. I'm very humbled by this experience. I would like to thank my wife, my family, friends, mother and father, colleagues, for all your supports over the years. Once again, I hope everyone is having a great time tonight. And don't forget, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Our next honoree is Mr. Thomas Fink. Mr. Fink is currently chairman of Adara Acquisition Corporation, serves on the board of directors for Invesco, and is a retired chairman and CEO of Barings, a $338 billion global financial services firm with offices across the US, Europe, Australia, and Asia. Mr. Fink's 35-year financial career has included roles in both banking and investment management industries. He received his bachelor's degree from the University of Virginia and an MBA from Duke University's Fuqua School of Business. Mr. Fink is passionate about education and believes in giving back and helping prepare the next generation of leaders.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste is one of the most fabulous mottos and most memorable for me, because it really gets at the heart of what we're trying to do in the community and what UNCF is trying to do in the community, and that is to make sure we're not wasting the incredible talent of our youth. As a company, Barings is very focused on helping raise economic mobility in our communities where we work and live. One of the foundations of that is our focus on education. UNCF is just one of the organizations that we believe is making an impact not only here in Charlotte but around the country in helping students move from their primary education to secondary education. For Barings, we firmly believe that improving society begins with education and support organizations that really help do that. When I think about UNCF, what I would say to my colleagues in the broader business community, it is one of the organizations that if you get behind, you're not only making an impact in the community or with those individuals, you're really helping us solve for one of the biggest issues we have, and that's a lack of trained students coming out with the right degrees. Well, education has been very important in my life. My mother was a teacher for over 30 years, so in our household, education always came first. In fact, she taught in the school district where I grew up, so I couldn't really hide from it. But the reality is, my wife Heather and I, as parents of 5, we've taken those lessons where we grew up and really instilled them in our children. But also, we've looked to help education in the broader Charlotte community. When I found out about the UNCF Mass Award, I was quite frankly surprised and certainly humbled. I have great admiration for UNCF and its mission, and really for the people behind the mission here in Charlotte and across the country. I am honored by this award and really take it as a recognition, not just what I do, but what my family, my colleagues, and really the community of Charlotte is very good at doing, and that's stepping up to embrace each other and to give the youth of the future an opportunity to grow. Thank you very much.
Our next honoree is Mr. Dwight Gibson, the Chief Commercial Officer for SPX Flow, a leading global provider of process solutions and flow control technology to the food and beverage and industrial segments. Prior to joining SPX, he spent 12 years at Ingersoll Rand, leading significant growth initiatives as President of Strategic Initiatives for the company's climate segment. Mr. Gibson has been recognized 3 times as a top African American executive in corporate America by Savoy magazine. He was also recognized as one of the 300 most powerful executives in corporate America by Black Enterprise. In June 2019, Dwight was honored as a recipient of the American Diabetes Association Father of the Year Award. He is a member of the Board of Visitors for Howard University School of Business, serves on the board for the World Affairs Council of Charlotte, and is also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He is a proud graduate of Howard University and Stanford University, where he received his MBA. He also earned a master's degree in international strategy and diplomacy from the London School of Economics and Political Science. Mr. Gibson is also very passionate about giving back and helping our students get a quality education.
Yeah, it's incredibly humbling, to be honest. I'm incredibly appreciative of the recognition. It's a huge award for me. It really impacts me on a personal level, just because I can relate to the UNCF story. I mean, I would not have gone to college without a scholarship. I was fortunate to attend Howard University, so an HBCU, and familiar with the HBCU experience and the challenges that many students there have in being able to afford college, and also the support system required to get through. And so to be recognized by an organization that's played such a pivotal role supporting education for minority students such as myself, is overwhelming at times, and I feel really, really fortunate and thankful to the organization for the recognition. Our company is also really supportive of the educational opportunities for students across the spectrum. We do work with elementary schools in the Charlotte community, and we're also big supporters of higher education institutions as well. And we're looking to raise that support and take it to the next level over time. But we absolutely believe giving students the opportunity to realize their full potential in an academic environment is a really important responsibility to make sure we're a good partner in our communities. Corporations, organizations don't exist in a vacuum, right? We are part of a system, of a community. And a big part of what we need in order to create value for our stakeholders is really good talent. And people can either help us engineer things or market things or build things or design things. And so we're always looking for talent. We never, and it's a competitive environment. I can't tell you how many times it's taken me more time than I'd like to kind of find the talent we need to move the organization forward. So I think it's actually to our benefit to support organizations like UNCF because they help to address that talent problem. The mind is our most precious resource in the world, right? And investing in it creates opportunities not just for that individual, but potentially for other people as well. I'd definitely like to thank the UNCF organization and all the folks involved with it. This is a tremendous honor. I'm incredibly humbled and overwhelmed by the recognition. This is an organization that has done so much and impacted so many lives around the world. To feel that I'm able to participate in that story and support that mission is incredibly inspiring. So thank you all. I really appreciate it. And you have my commitment that I'll continue to do all I can to make sure that we support and invest in our young people and allow them to pursue their dreams. Thank you again.
Last but definitely not least, we have Mr. Dante Wilson, who serves as Chief Digital and Client Experience Officer and member of the Executive Leadership Team for Truist Financial Corporation. In his role, he is responsible for leading digital transformation and for ensuring world-class, distinctive client experience for Truist clients. Wilson leads digital banking, digital sales, digital strategy and innovation, intelligent automation, client experience, client insights and analytics, experience design and research, marketing, corporate communications, and the Truist Foundation. He is a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. He is a member and a huge supporter of higher education and is no stranger to UNCF. He co-chaired the UNCF Atlanta Mayor's Ball a few years ago and is committed to remaining involved with UNCF now that he is in Charlotte.
I have a long history with HBCUs. Starting back when I was in college as an undergrad, I went to UNC Charlotte, so I didn't get a chance to go to HBCU, but I had a great relationship with a lot of fraternity brothers and friends at John C. Smith, and we did a lot of community service projects together to really make our communities a much better place to live. My relationship also dates back to my wife, who attended an HBCU. She went to Virginia State, and she just showed up on campus one day without any guidance of how to apply and any money to go to school, and that school did a wonderful thing for her. They showed her love, they gave her an opportunity to attend school, and they made sure she got through school, so she graduated from Virginia State. I've also been very involved with UNCF. So for years, the last 10 years, I've been engaged with helping raise money. I was the chair of the UNCF Ball in Atlanta, which we raised over $1.5 million. I was super excited to co-chair that opportunity, because I know at the end of the day, the impact of that money that we're able to raise changes lives. And at Truist, we're all about inspiring and building better lives in communities. And the best way to do that is to go touch a young person and give them the opportunity to be successful. At Truist, our purpose is to inspire and build better lives in communities. One of the ways that we do that we're most proud of is our partnership with HBCUs and our partnerships with UNCF. We get the opportunity, and I say get to very intentionally, because it is an opportunity to be able to invest in the future of our youth. So we're super excited to be able to support them with our financial contribution, but equally as excited to support them by providing mentorships, because mentorships are critical in the success of our students. So not just getting the education, but what do I do with the education? How do I leverage the education? And the best way to do that is provide internships, is to provide mentorships, to be available for these students, not just get them to college, but get them through college. Have the opportunity to receive an award like this from such a grand and successful organization really speaks volumes to what I've been able to have the opportunity to do, and that's really be able to give back to the community, and specifically give back to an area in which I'm passionate about, which is changing the lives of our youth and giving them an opportunity to have the best life possible. So super excited to be recognized for that. All that means at the end of the day is that we've been able to work together successfully to help a lot of people have a brighter future. Thank you for this wonderful recognition. It is truly an honor and a personal highlight to my career to have this recognition, especially with the other folks that are recognized tonight. I wish the UNCF continued success. You're doing a fantastic job of changing the lives of our youth, giving them an opportunity to really make a difference in this world. And for that, I am super proud. I want you to have a great time, enjoy each other tonight, and I'll see you next year.
Let's give a virtual round of applause to our 2021 honorees for their hard work and commitment to UNCF and the Charlotte community. On behalf of Dr. Lomax, Mayor Lyles, Tiffany Jones, our amazing co-chairs and honorary co-chairs, our HBCU presidents, and our students, thank you. If you've already made a donation tonight, thank you. If you haven't, you still have time. Please make a donation in any amount using the link you received via text or in your email or in the chat. And please don't forget to upload your photos to the virtual photo booth so we can see how fabulous you looked and who joined us this evening. Please post your images on social media using the hashtag CharlotteMMB. Thank you for joining us for a spectacular evening to support UNCF and HBCUs. Stay tuned for our national entertainment segment featuring remarks from UNCF President and CEO, Dr. Michael Lomax.
Good evening, I'm Kenny Lattimore, and it's truly an honor to close out this historic UNCF Charlotte Mayor's Masked Ball. UNCF and I go way back, and I am deeply committed to the important work that they do for our historically black colleges and universities and students of color. On behalf of UNCF, HBCUs, and the students they serve, thank you for your generosity and support. Let us never forget that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the extraordinary film and stage star, Samuel L. Jackson.
Good evening. I'm Samuel L. Jackson, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's event celebrating UNCF. We're thrilled that you're able to join us from wherever you are around the country. We have a wonderful program for you. Like so many people in today's world, COVID-19 has affected us in unimaginable ways. This pandemic has disproportionately affected people of color. Many UNCF students have been significantly challenged, and their ability to complete their studies is in jeopardy. Our students are more likely to have parents who have lost their jobs, and many are struggling to maintain basic needs like meals and health care. UNCF, its members, historically black colleges and universities, have worked hard to get our students back to school. There's too much on the line today, and the education of a generation of African American students is at risk. Tonight's events are raising funds that will support UNCF, our schools, and help our young people get the education they deserve. As a proud HBCU graduate, I know the value of historically black colleges and universities and the importance of assuring that they remain viable. We have an amazing celebration planned for you this evening. To kick things off is a phenomenal entertainer and Grammy Award-winning artist, Stephanie Mills.
Coming to the stage is the incomparable Miss Stephanie Mills!
intuition. Boy, I got my eyes on you. This mystery is thrilling. I'm not sure just what to do. Ooh, this oasis, well, it is no mirage to me. Touch it gently, feel the love in me. Tell me what you're gonna do with my loving. I'm crazy about your smile and eyes. Tell me, please don't make me fantasize. I wanna know, yeah. Tell me now, tell me now. Love and daydream, all my pleasures make believe. But when you ask my daydream, I never want to leave. Ooh, this feeling, yeah, shines like a precious jewel. And here, if you want me, all my love is for you. Tell me what you're gonna do with my loving. I'm crazy about the shining eyes. Oh, please don't make me fantasize. Yeah, tell me now. Tell me now. All I wanna know is, yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with my loving? Yeah, yeah.
Wow, wasn't that amazing? Thank you, Stephanie. It is now my honor to welcome my friend, Dr. Michael L. Lomax, my freshman dorm counselor, who is in his 17th year as president and CEO of UNCF. Michael.
For 77 years, UNCF has worked to ensure that our HBCUs have the resources they require to be strong institutions, that our students get the education they need to have careers that will position them in the middle class, that their lives are enriched, and that they are prepared for leadership. Over the last 7 decades, we have raised over $5 billion and helped over 500,000 students earn college degrees. Throughout our 77 years, we have been blessed to have powerful, deep-rooted relationships with communities all across our great nation. And tonight, the communities of Columbus, Georgia, Philadelphia, Birmingham, Hampton Roads, Virginia, Florence, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Charlotte, New Orleans, Dallas, and Milwaukee, with the partnership of their respective mayors, have stepped up to support UNCF and our member HBCUs, with $2.3 million being raised for our 10 masked balls. We cannot thank all of the mayors and their staffs enough for their annual commitment to this work. The Mayor's Masked Balls are significant in that they are hosted by diverse groups of corporate sponsors, local businesses, volunteers, HBCU alums, professional organizations, civic leaders, dignitaries, black fraternities and sororities, and friends of UNCF. 2020 has been a year like none in our 7 decades. The COVID pandemic and the renewed surge of racism and inequality and inequity have made this a year like no other. Honestly, I thought that UNCF and some of our HBCUs would be permanently damaged by the challenges. But across our country, hundreds of thousands of donors, allies, and champions stepped up to ensure that our HBCUs and our students would have much needed support. Because we share a profound belief, namely, that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Brother Lomax, for your leadership and for the hard work that you and everyone at UNCF is doing to help underrepresented students obtain a college education. As we all know, today, more than ever, there's still so much work to be done. There's no shortage of challenges to overcome. With the global pandemic, police brutality, and social injustice, we are definitely living in stressful times. We need to encourage our young people to empower themselves to help make the world a better place for all. We all know UNCF's iconic motto, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." Tonight, we're raising money to make sure that we can live up to it and help as many deserving students as possible. As it stands, UNCF can only support 1 out of every 10 students. That means they have to say no to 9 other deserving students. But with your help, we can do more. These students are our future. They are the future of this nation. I encourage all of you to make a donation right now. Go to uncf.org. Whatever you can give, it all helps. Help make someone's dream come true. Everyone deserves access to a college education. Thank you.
Changing and elevating African American lives for generations. UNCF is one of the nation's oldest and most respected education organizations.
An advocate for fostering excellence and empowerment for students receiving a college education and developing the next generation of global future leaders. UNCF, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining this evening. This has been a wonderful celebration. We must continue to do everything in our power to make sure that UNCF remains strong. With your help, UNCF can continue to be the pipeline to putting young men and women on the path to success. Thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for all that you will continue to do. Have a great evening, and remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. And now, to close out the evening, here's the incredible, the timeless Queen of Funk, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan.
Happened so naturally, did not know it was love. into each other's eyes, and what we see is more surprise. Got to feeling most will treasure, and I love so deep, and I can't die. Nobody, hey, you make me feel this way. Ain't nobody love me better. Nobody. Ain't
supporting UNCF. See you next year. Good night.